All right, let's talk video games. Now, when I say that, what pops into your head? Probably flashing screens, right? Maybe your favorite console, something from the last, 40, 50 years? But what if I told you that's just scratching the surface? That the real story, the secret history, goes back way, way further. I'm talking thousands of years.
So look at this number, $200 billion. Let that sink in for a second. That's the market value of the global video game industry today. It's a huge, almost unbelievable number, right? But honestly, what that number means is even crazier.
I mean, check this out. Video games aren't just a part of the entertainment world anymore. They kind of are the entertainment world. Right now, gaming makes more money than Hollywood and the entire music industry put together. It's not even close. And get this, they're saying it could triple to over $600 billion in the next decade. So yeah, the big question is, how in the world did we get to this point?
Well, to figure that out, we have to rewind. And I mean rewind a lot, way, way before the first pixel ever lit up a screen. So let's start at the beginning. We're diving into the ancient roots of play, because it turns out our need to play games, well, it's one of the oldest things about us.
Just look at this timeline. It's kind of mind-bending, isn't it? We're not talking about a few hundred years ago. We're talking 5,000 years ago. People in ancient Mesopotamia were playing organized games like the Royal Game of Ur. And the coolest part? We know how to play it. Some of the rules, anyway, because they were literally carved into ancient clay tablets. This wasn't just some fad. It was a core part of their culture.
And it wasn't just in Mesopotamia. It was, well, everywhere. You had Senet in Egypt, Mancala in Arabia. Over in China, there was this really complex game called Liubo. We found these beautiful game sets in ancient tombs. But here's the sad part. We have no idea how to play it. The rules are just gone. And then you have Go, a game so deep, so strategic, that even today, more than 2,400 years later, it's still seen as one of the ultimate brain burners.
So you look at all these incredible games from all over the ancient world, and you start to see something, a pattern. They all have something in common, right? Which brings us to our next big idea, why board games completely ruled the ancient world. And that leads to a really simple but important question.
Yeah, why were they all basically just boards and pieces? I mean, seriously, think about it. For literally thousands of years, no matter where you were on the planet, the absolute peak of gaming tech was a flat thing with some little things you moved around on it. Why? It's not like they weren't creative, no. The answer is all about the tech they had to work with.
And that brings us to this key idea. It's a concept I want you to remember, the game carrier. It sounds kind of technical, but it's super simple. A game carrier is just the physical stuff a game is made from. It's the medium that, well, carries the game. Every game you've ever played, from chess to Candy Crush, has one. So, back in the ancient world, what were their game carriers? Well, what did they have lying around? Stone, wood, pottery, bone, stuff they could find and carve up pretty easily. And because that's all they had to work with, the games they made took the only form they could take, boards and pieces. You see, the technology of the time literally shaped the game.
And for thousands and thousands of years, that basic carrier, wood, stone, bone, it didn't really change. But then, the 20th century happened, and everything changed. Humanity invented a brand new kind of game carrier. So let's talk about how technology completely changed the game.
And this slide, right here, shows you the whole shebang. This is the big shift. We went from game carriers being physical things, where your only limit was finding the right piece of wood, to game carriers being electronic devices. Suddenly, the big limitation wasn't your carving skills anymore. The new bottleneck? It was computing power. And you know, as our lives started filling up with all this new electronic stuff, calculators, radios, TVs, and eventually computers and phones, it was only a matter of time, wasn't it? It was totally inevitable that our ancient human love of play would find its way onto these new carriers. Video games didn't just pop out of nowhere. They migrated. They moved into the dominant tech of the era. But here's the thing. This didn't happen overnight. Most of us, we think of Pong in the 1970s as the beginning. But that's not the whole story. There's this whole forgotten chapter, a secret origin story. So for our final section, let's dig into the electronic prehistory of video games.
Get this. For almost 50 years, a full half-century before Atari hit it big, there were pioneers tinkering away in university labs and old military research centers.
They were already making the very first electronic games on these gigantic computers that took up whole rooms. It's incredible.
And this is where it gets really interesting. Because when you look at that prehistory, you realize something profound. The story of early video games is actually the story of the computer itself. They're not two separate histories, they're totally intertwined. They're two sides of the exact same coin. As computers got more powerful, the games got better. And in many cases, the desire to make better games pushed computer technology forward.
So when you pull back and look at the whole 5,000-year story, you see it. Games have always been a kind of mirror. They reflect the technology of their time. From a carved clay tablet in ancient Mesopotamia to the ridiculously powerful supercomputer you carry in your pocket, the games we play are a perfect reflection of the tools we've built. They tell us a story about who we are and what we can do.
Which, of course, leaves us with one last really exciting question to think about. Our technology, our game carriers, are changing faster now than at any point in human history. We're heading into a world of AI, of true virtual reality, and things we can't even imagine yet. So, what will the games of tomorrow look like? What is that mirror going to show us next?